Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for what are remaining 2 races in the regular season. This points battle and the contention to make it into the chase getting closer and closer each and every week. Right now, with 2 races left and only 14 spots available, these drivers know what is on the line and are going to lay it all out here tonight at Atlanta. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is K.R. Stolfus, and I hope you all are strapped in and ready to get rocking as we're about ready to wrap up practice. Final 15 seconds here in this practice session. Then I'm going to kick off qualifying, and just watch these cars slip and slide all over this hot Atlanta racing surface. I, for one, am going to be excited about it. The drivers are looking forward to it. A lot of positive feedback on this race here tonight. Drivers all looking forward to this one as well. Ryan Lutz in the 66 doing a little bit pre-race celebration. Now, with the qualifying light going green, it will be time to see who's going to roll out on track first. Ethan Reisner in the 86. First one to hit the track. He is going to slam on the brakes. Brady Clark in the 14. Next one out. Points battle very close up at the top of the charts here. Chad Frankenfield does have a 43-point lead. Ethan Burrell right behind him in second place. Ethan charging through these point standings here, trying to make something happen. Ethan looking for his first win of the season as well. Good qualifying here might help him out. That 37 machine right now out on track. No one has really posted their time just yet. Thomas George now on the pole as he comes across the start-finish line. Down into turn 1 he goes. George with the fastest time of a 30.703. Brady Clark sitting in second for the moment, and the 86 of Ethan Reisner now into 5th place. Scott Haney posts a time in the 3 machine. Three minutes left in this qualifying session. Matthew Weeks in the 11 machine, putting a new paint scheme here tonight. Red, white, and black. FedEx with some very important call-outs on the nose of that machine. Some familiar names to those who race with Matthew. Special paint scheme he did just for tonight. Now Stephen McGough in the 83 machine on top of the qualifying leaderboard. 13 drivers have turned a lap time so far. The 97 machine of Levi Zielinski gonna find himself in 5th place. 19 of David Tooker getting out on track. Tooker right now finding himself on the bottom end of the chart, coming around to complete another lap. And David gonna move from 14th up into 5th place. A good qualifying session for the 19 machine. Harold Campbell out on track, a hard hitter for a fast lap. Campbell last picked up the pole at Martinsville and going to lay down a lap good enough for second place. Tyler Riggs, though, in the 26, going to jump up into second. Tyler Riggs now in the second place. And guys, we're going to step away for the national anthem. We'll be right back for your starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the drivers have started to take to the grid, that means it is time to go through our starting lineup for tonight's event. Jared Rexing in the 10 machine, laying down the fastest lap of a 30.392, and that will be Jared Rexing's first pole of the season. Great lap for him. He is going to need all the help he can get here at Atlanta. There are going to be a lot of hungry drivers behind him. On his outside, the 25 of Joshua Furr with a 30.40000. Assume. Row 2 will be the 66 of Ryan Lutz. Ryan picking up the all-star win last week right here at Atlanta in the car of tomorrow. And McGo on his outside. Row 3, Damian Leininger and Tyler Riggs. Row 4 will be Chad Frankenfield and Joshua Adams. Row 5, Gerald Campbell in the 31 and the 64 of Andrew Rucker. Row 6, the 11 machine of Matthew Weeks and the 14 of Brady Clark. Row 7, David Tooker, Levi Zielinski. Row 8, Ethan Burrell and Thomas George. Row 9, Logan Shea in the 6 and Ethan Reisner in the 86. Row 10, Dallas Myhan and Scott Haney. Row 11, Dustin Buer and Michael Goodman. Row 12 will be the 28 of Joshua Clark and the 00 of Joe Torres. Row 13, Rusty Capel and Kendall Noah Player. And a row 14 will be Richard Hines and David Western. Field working its way through turns 3 and 4 with the lights out on the pace car. They're getting ready to go racing here at Atlanta. This is the MS Race for Awareness 250. Jared Rexing gets it on the throttle, and we are green. The 10 machine out front easily, but the 25 right behind him of Joshua Furr. Here comes the 66 of Ryan Lutz to the outside. Lutz already trying to make something happen in that middle lane, looking for some running room, some fresh air, some clean air, and he has got the momentum down the straightaway. Now he makes the dive down to the inside, battling for second place, too wide here at Atlanta. Don't worry, folks, we're gonna see him 3 and maybe even 4 wide before too much longer. Rusty Capel in the 9 after starting from the pits, rejoining the race here. He is going to find himself 1 lap down early on, but has a lot of time to dig himself out of this hole. Rexing in the 10 machine down to the inside. Joshua Furr on the outside with Ryan Lutz right there in 3rd place. Maybe gonna make a difference on who is running where. Go on board with Damian Leininger in the 12 machine, finding himself in 4th place. Leininger choosing the higher line. Leininger looking out the back of it. You see him go. You see Chad Frankenfield in the 15. 95 of Joshua Adams gonna make the pass for 4th place through 3 and 4. Slides up in front of Leininger. But Damian not done just yet. Meanwhile, the 25 of Joshua Furr, Jared Rexing, and Ryan Lutz trying to pull away from this field. They do have a little bit of a gap, about a half second back to the 95 of Adams. Side by side for the race lead. Rexing in the 10, started on pole. Furr started on his outside. Right now, those two have switched positions. Rexing now on the outside, Furr on the inside. A little bit deeper in the pack here, Andrew Rucker in the 64 in a 4-car battle here with the 26 of Tyler Riggs, 83 of Stephen McGough, and the 31 of Gerald Campbell. That is the 37 machine right behind him of Ethan Burrell. Ethan, as I mentioned earlier, is coming into tonight's event 2nd place in the point standings. Ethan's still looking for his first win on the year. Pro Edge Racing being represented by Ethan Burrell, Josh Clark, Matthew Weeks, and David Tooker here tonight. Meanwhile, the battle at the front starting to get a little bit busier as the 95 is closing in very quickly on the back bumper of the 10 of Jared Rexing. Leininger closing in as well as the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. Started 28 cars. Right now, the 9 of Rusty Capel is the only one lap down. Started from pit lane. ended up having a late start to this race, but the 9 machine, as I mentioned, plenty of time to get back into this. Now Joshua First starting to open up a bit of a gap over Ryan Lutz. Rexing, Frankenfield, and Adams all going for 3rd place. Frankenfield making a move to the inside of Rexing in the 10. Now the 15 into 3rd place for the first time tonight. Chad Frankenfield, your points leader, starting to pull his weight on this field. But these drivers need to be worried about the 95. He is the only repeat winner on the season here. Joshua Adams picked up the win at Michigan 2 weeks ago. That was his 2nd win on the season. He is making his presence felt at the front of the field now. The 12 of Damian Leininger making a move to the inside. Tire wear starting to be a factor as the cars are inching closer and closer to that wall. Here in another few laps, we might actually see a few cars right up against it. '19 machine of David Tooker battling with the 14 of Brady Clark. Tooker on the inside, Clark on the outside. Clark got a good run off the corner. Carried a lot of momentum down the straightaway. Tooker battling right back on the inside of 3 and 4, but he is going to slide in behind the 14. Just ahead of them, that is the 42 of Thomas George as he is battling with the 83 of Stephen McGough. The 97 machine of Levi Zielinski, been watching him for a few laps here. He has been running very high in 1 and 2. As I mentioned, these drivers are going to start getting closer and closer to the wall as the tire wear comes into play. That one right up against it. He's still got another car length to go there, or car width. But the yellow flag is going to come out. We got several cars in trouble on the front stretch. That is the 22 of David Westergreen, the 6 of Logan Shea, the 19 of David Tooker getting involved as well. Go to our turn 3 instant replay. Figure out what went wrong here. The 19 of Tooker. Brady Clark in the 14 gets a little loose coming off the corner, tags the 19. Tooker down the front stretch. He's sitting duck here. Looks like Logan Shea and David Westergreen are going to make contact. So the 6 checked up for the yellow. Pulled way down slow, tried to stay off the grass. And then the 22 of Westergreen trying to avoid the 19 gets into him. Take one last look at this. The Logan Shea backs it into the wall hard there, but not by choice. And now everyone down pit road for 4 tires and fuel. Lutz and Furr both have to back up as they overshoot their pit box. Cars down and away. Who's going to win the race off of pit road? The 15 getting away. The 66 going to beat him, though. Ryan Lutz in the 66 going to win the race off of pit road. Two drivers who did not come down pit road, Joshua Clark and Ethan Reasoner. So Clark in the 28 machine, Reasoner in the 86. Did not come down pit road, so I wonder if they're going to stay out and try and lead a lap here. The 28 of Clark. Early gamble here for a lap led bonus point. With the lights on the pace car as we work our first caution here tonight. We've got a lot of racing left to do. Now Clark in the 28 is going to come down pit road. That will give the lead to the 86 of Ethan Reasoner. Reasoner will be a sitting duck on these older tires as the lights go out on the pace car. Joshua Clark giving up a lot of track position in the 28 machine. Still has a lot of racing to go. Got 143 laps left in tonight's event. Field forming up behind the Ford Mustang pace car. Electing the inside lane. 86 gotta be very careful not to spin a tire here. Pace car down and away. The 86 does light up the back tires a little bit, but that is gonna get the 66 of Ryan Lutz away cleanly. And now Reasoner down to the inside, all the way onto the apron, trying to get out of the way, I assume. Unless he got a bit more out of shape. Had to catch it down on the apron trying to be safe there. But that has allowed the 66 of Ryan Lutz a clean air and a break away from the field. Ed Frankenfield in the 15 sitting in second. 12th place right now. Or I'm sorry, the 12 machine of Damian Leininger in third. '25 machine, Joshua Furr, with the momentum on the high side. He is bringing along with him the 31 of Gerald Campbell. Campbell right now following very closely in the tire tracks of Furr. But Furr made it look like for a moment he was going to make a move down to the inside, but jumps right back out to the high side. With the momentum up off the corner, now he dives down to the inside, trying to make a move on the 15 of Frankenfield. And Joshua Furr down on the white line, gonna move into second place here, but Frankenfield gonna challenge right back with the momentum from that high side. Ryan Lutz continues to lead, watching all of this go on in his rear view mirror. And now Frankenfield down to the inside, and Chad Frankenfield trying to lead his first lap of the race. And at the line, that was close. It looked like it might have been Frankenfield, as the 15 does pick up his first laps lead of the event here tonight. The MS Race for Awareness 250 is only 25 laps old, and already we have seen 5 different lead changes. Frankenfield and Lutz battling side by side for the race lead. Lutz, who won the All-Star race that was here last week at Atlanta in the car of tomorrow, looking like he is trying to pick up right where he left off. That 66 machine clears Frankenfield and leads another lap, but the 15 mounting another charge once again. Top 5 look like Lutz, Frankenfield, Campbell, Furr, and George. Check in on our driver in 10th place. That is the 41 of Dallas Myhan. Dallas started in 19th place, has been on a steady march forward ever since. As we got one down on the apron, that is the 25 of Furr. He has found trouble here and has lost a lot of ground. Joshua Furr continuing to lose spots. He has fallen all the way to 12th place after being inside the top 5. Not sure what happened to him, but was able to straighten his car out after it got out of shape. Right behind him is the one machine of Levi Zielinski. Get up into the blimp here. The drivers starting to inch closer to the wall. Zielinski, one of the first ones to be right along the wall. Joshua Furr in the 25 making a move on the 64 of Rucker. Tucks in behind the 11 of Matthew Weeks. Meanwhile, up at the front, things haven't changed a whole lot. Ryan Lutz in the 66 continuing to lead. 11 laps so far for him, but the 15 of Frankenfield keeping him honest, not letting him get too far away. And now the 15 making a move down to the inside off of turn number 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch. really send it in deep into the corner there, but Frankenfield on the bottom gonna slide up in front of Lutz, and Chad Frankenfield once again out front to lead for his second time tonight. But Lutz not letting him get away cleanly. Meanwhile, while they battle for the lead, they do have a bit of a gap over Gerald Campbell and Thomas George. Those two are battling for third place with the 37 of Ethan Burrell right behind them. Burrell came into tonight looking for a win and has moved himself into the top 5 here. He started deep in the field. Joe Torres in the 00 machine. Another car that has moved forward. Started in 24th place. Right now he finds himself in 15th. Freaky fast 00 machine. Following in the tire tracks of the 26 of Tyler Riggs. Riggs making a move down to the inside of Matthew Weeks. Weeks goes up to the high side following Levi Zielinski, and Riggs gonna make the pass. Torres trying to follow him, but not gonna get there by the time he gets through the corner. Almost to the rear quarter panel of the 11 machine, but now Weeks slides down in front of Torres. Michael Goodman in the 73 machine. Started 22nd, has moved forward a little bit. Right now he finds himself in 17th spot. He has the 87 of Richard Hines right behind him. One driver we're missing out here tonight, that is Brent Jones. Brent unable to start tonight's event. We hope to see Brent back out here next week for our final race in the regular season. That is a full-length Daytona 500. That will be the Pinecone Cabin Daytona 500. That will be starting 1 hour earlier than our normal start time. Make sure you are prepared for that. Hate for anyone to miss any of the action, but the 15 machine right now is starting to pull away from the rest of the field. He is enjoying the biggest lead of the race so far. Frankenfield out in front by a half second over the 66 of Lutz. Meanwhile, George and Campbell continue to battle for third place, with Ethan Burrell right behind them. Getting into our tire run. Oh, as the 42 and the 31 make contact, and George gets up onto the track, but Campbell in the grass. No caution for the 31 machine. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay. Watch this once again. As the 42 came up the track, the 31 got tagged in the rear quarter panel. Both drivers go sliding through the grass. George able to get up on the track first. But Campbell battling to keep this thing straightened out and off of pit road. The 31 lost all kinds of ground. Campbell falling all the way back to 21st spot. We go back live at 31 machine. finding himself running all alone right now. Joshua Adams in the 95, he has got 4 fresh tires as he has been one of our first drivers to make a pit stop. The 64 of Andrew Rucker is on pit road right now as well. So these 2 cars, Andrew Rucker and Josh Adams, are going to start our green flag pit stop cycle. Now, when will the 15 Chad Frankenfield respond? As Frankenfield's starting to catch the back of the field. That is Ethan Reisner in the 86. Ooh, as Dustin Dewar right behind him gets a little bit sideways coming up off of 4. Reisner, who has not made a pit stop yet tonight, did not pit during our last caution. He is falling all the way down the 23rd spot. The Chad Frankenfield now starting to try and figure out how to get around cars without slowing himself up too much. 95 of Joshua Adams, want to check in on him. He has made that pit stop. Still has quite a bit of ground to make up. Is the fastest car out on track. His last time around was a 30.732. Our race leader turning a 32.2. As Adams got his hands full here. There's 3 cars right in front of him, but he navigates around them very quickly and efficiently. And Frankenfield with Ryan Lutz right behind him, both able to clear the 86 of Ethan Reisner. Field starting to get strung out now, as this is our longest green flag run we've had so far tonight. We're about 30 laps into this tire run. During my pre-race grid walk, I asked a bunch of drivers how far they thought they could make it. They said be looking to hit pit road around the lap 30 mark. They figured about 50 laps on fuel, as we got one sideways on the front stretch, as our leaders are going to have to be careful here. That is the 19 machine of David Tooker finding trouble once again. We go to our turn 3 instant replay. Tooker working his way through 3 and 4. Gets loose coming up off the corner. Tags that outside a wall and has pancaked the right side of that 19 Procore machine. He is continuing on out there, but he is going to have to spend some time working on that on pit road. And here comes the rest of the field down pit lane. '86 of Ethan Reisner, even the free pass, going to get back on the lead lap. 15 of Frankenfield down and away. Ethan Burrell also away. Ryan Lutz gonna beat Burrell off. Jared Rexing, Damian Leininger. Great pit stops for Burrell. The 10 of Jared Rexing gonna come off a pit lane in fourth, and rounding out your top 5 for the moment will be the 12 machine of Damian Leininger. Well, let's see if we can't get a word in. With the driver of the 12 machine as I try and find him here in our chat room. Damien, this is KR up in the broadcast booth. You got yours on, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do. How's it going?
Oh, it's going all right. That 12 machine right now sitting in 5th place. What's the racing like out there tonight?
Oh, it's for the first about 10 to 15 laps. It's super close. I mean, we're door to door. It's just a lot of trust going on right now. I mean, a lot of clean racing, but it's definitely wild.
Now, we just had a caution here, but we were deep into a tire run. A lot of drivers were starting to think about pit lane and getting serviced by their crews. How effective were the tires there at the end of that run?
I mean, on my tires, they weren't really too bad. I mean, we were slowed down pretty much. But I saw guys start migrating to the top, and I mean, the top really was starting to come in there. But I mean, I was committed to the bottom right there, just trying to save a little bit tires. Ironically, the bottom saves tires more than the top does right now. So I'm still trying to point race to get my way in. But I think we were about 10 or 15 laps from thinking about green flag pit stops for sure from at that point.
All right, man. Well, the lights are out on the pace car. Any shout outs or thank yous?
I just want to shout out Bright Lights Motorsports. We got Ryan, Jared, and me all in the top 5, so we're looking good tonight.
All right, man. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Hope to talk to you again in Victory Lane.
Thanks. Have a good one.
The 12 machine of Damian Leininger giving us a quick word. We appreciate that. A little bit of insight into how the car felt deep into that tire run. Little interesting tidbit that the bottom is easier on the tires. Store that in your notebook because we might see these guys try and battle for the bottom here early on. Take care of their equipment. Ed Frankenfield in the 15, electing the outside lane for this restart. Lutz in this 2 down on his inside. Row 2 will be the 37 of Ethan Burrell and the 10 of Jared Rexing. Here we go. Green flag out once again as we begin lap 53 of 162 laps. Lutz in the 66 down on the bottom with a good head of steam. He is going to try and take over the top spot. The 37 of Ethan Burrell going right with him. Frankenfield in the 15 being left high and dry. Jared Rexing now thought about a move on the inside of Burrell. And now he is going to make that move to the inside as Burrell goes to the outside of Ryan Lutz. And Ethan Burrell, for the first time, looking like he doesn't have a car in front of him. Can he hold on to this top spot and lead his first lap of the race? He is going to clear the 66, drop down in front of him. One car got into the grass there a little bit. Didn't quite see who that was, but Burrell picking up his first lap lead here in the MS Race for Awareness. down the backstretch. Frankenfield all over the back bumper of the 37. Jared Rexing pushing the 66. Almost like a plate race here at Atlanta with this Cup package. How much it drafts up to the car in front of them. Levi Zielinski in the 97, or I'm sorry, in the one machine, having a big moment there. Gathered it back in, but man, that was a close one for the one. Doesn't look like he's damaged that right side too hard, but big old crash avoided as the one machine got a little bit squirrely coming off of turn 2. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Lutz now back to the front by about half a car length. Burrell challenging in the 37 on the high side. Now Lutz slides up in front of Burrell. Burrell get that good run down the straightaway. Now Ryan Lutz trying to break away from the draft here at 66. Dropping down in the white line, Ethan Burrell following Jared Rexing in the 10. With the 15 of Chad Frankenfield on his outside. Rexing slides up in front of Frankenfield. And now Damian challenging Chad for 4th place. So Chad, who restarted on the outside of row 1 for this restart, starting to drop back here and drop back quickly. Now Leininger making a move to the inside of him. Joshua Furr in the 25 in the tire tracks of the 15. Ooh, as Levi Zielinski down along the inside there. No contact made by the one, but Levi again getting out of shape coming off of turn 2. The 94 machine of Kendall Noah Player right there. Kendall started 26th in the 12th place now. '94 sporting a new paint scheme for this week. Joshua Furr and Damian Leininger almost getting together as they entered into turn 3. No contact made there, but close racing by everyone. The 41 of Dallas Myhan right there in 7th place. Starting to close in on a top 5 run here for the 41. Dallas taking a peek to the high side of Leininger. Meanwhile, the 66 is out front, has been for 20 laps so far tonight. Aaron Rexing in the 10 machine into second place. Third place is Ethan Burrell. Rounding out your top 5 will be the 15 of Frankenfield and the 25 of Furr. Checking back in on the 00 of Joe Torres. Joe continuing to march forward in that 00. After starting in 24th spot, he now finds himself inside the top 10. Right now solidly into 9th place and gaining ground on the 11 of Matthew Weeks. As the caution flag is going to come out, we have the 6 of Logan Shea slow on the apron in a 1 and 2. Go to our turn 3 instant replay. Let's figure out what went wrong for the 6. It's loose a little bit off of 4. Big wiggle there. That allows the 28 of Clark to get to his outside. And Shea and Clark make contact going into turn 1, and the 6 gets heavily torn up. That will bring the field to a slow once again. Everyone will be hitting a pit road. Ryan Lutz leading the charge. 21 cars still on the lead lap. Pit lane very busy. Rell into his pit stall cleanly. Ryan Lutz, Aaron Rexing. All the drivers hitting their marks as well as they can. Rell's down and away. Here comes the 66, the 10 of Rexing, and Ryan Lutz gonna win the race off of pit road. All right, guys, we're gonna take this moment to step away, catch our breath. We'll be right back after this. Field starting to form up on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. We are getting close to the halfway mark of the MS Race for Awareness 250 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ryan Lutz in the 66 electing the outside lane for this restart. Jared Rexing in the 10 machine, going to be on the inside. The inside lane proved to be better on that last restart we had. See how it works out here for Ryan Lutz in the 66. Pace car down and away. Lutz on the throttle as he wasted no time getting up to speed. Chad Frankenfield gonna follow suit. That time the outside lane working very well for the 66. Rexing into second place. Burrell third. The 15 of Chad Frankenfield. Gonna lose a few spots here as he is in that high lane. Now drops down to the middle for his entry. Burr to the inside of Burrell. The 25 machine not letting Ethan in the line here, but Ethan gonna stay high. Try and roll that car through the middle of the corner and build up a big run down the backstretch. And now the 37 of Ethan Burrell with a move as he is trying to get side by side with the 10 of Jared Rexing. Burrell using that high side to his advantage. Now Lutz slides up in front of him. The 37 once again going up along that middle lane, 2, 3, and 4. A lot of great racing up here at the front of the field. Richard Hines in the 87 machine. Right now he finds himself in 12th place. He's been moving forward here after he started in 27th spot. Hines has a good run going, tucked in behind the 3 of Scott Haney. Lutz leading Rexing and Burrell. Burrell still on that high side, but we heard from Damian Leininger that the inside lane was easier on the tires. We'll see how long Ethan Burrell chooses to stay up there, how much he is abusing his tires. Now he's got a good run on the outside of the 10. And the caution flag gonna come out again. It looks like trouble has found the 14 of Brady Clark. We're just a handful of laps away from our halfway point. Let's see what happened to the 14 of Brady Clark. Thomas George in the 42 got up into him. Looked like George and Clark got into a little dispute over who was gonna run where. And the 14 coming out the big loser in that situation. And everyone down pit road once again. One driver who has decided to stay out, that is the 87 of Richard Hines. He is going to pick up his first lap lead of the race. Lutz winning the race off of pit road. Burrell coming off second. Third, Jared Rexing. Fourth, Chad Frankenfield. The 25 of Joshua Furr will be the fifth car off of pit lane. Now Hines is going to hit pit road after picking up a bonus point for a lap lead. That will give the lead to the 66 of Ryan Lutz. We have a few cars open for the wave around. One of those is the 26 of Tyler Riggs. Riggs finds himself 3 laps down for the moment. 19 of David Tooker, who finds himself 2 laps down. And then the 6 of Logan Shea being a 1 lap down, so they will get the wave around past the pace car. Lights go out on the pace car. 3 cars waved around, and Lutz gonna form up on the inside this time, so he is choosing the inside lane. Row gonna start on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 be the 10 of Jared Rexing, the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. Field working its way down the backstretch. Here we go once again as we're at 1 lap away from the halfway point. The 66 of Lutz gets on the throttle and away we go. Green flag is out. And Lutz easily clearing the 37 of Burrell. Burrell losing some ground on that outer lane on this restart. Damian Leininger to the inside. The 12 and the 37 battling off a turn 4. But Lutz holding on to the race lead, has led 37 laps so far tonight. Dallas Myhan in the 41, going way up high through 3 and 4. On aboard with Jared Rexing. Rexing gets to the back bumper of the 66, backs off of him a little bit through the corner. Frankenfield in the 15, challenging on the outside for the race lead. Everyone's scrambling to find some room to run coming off of turn 2. Damian Leininger in the 12, Dallas Myhan in the 41. Running side by side here in a battle for 7th place. Put Myhan in the 7th as Leininger now has to deal with the 31 of Gerald Campbell. The 95 of Joshua Adams, who had made a pit stop before a caution flag had come out. It ended up trapping him 1 lap down. Now the 95 back on the lead lap, trying to break into the top 10 once again. Finds himself in 11th place. The Adams in the 95 has been on a steady march to the front of the field as the laps start to wind down. We're on the downhill side now of this event. Check back in with our top 5 drivers. Lutz still leading in the 66, Frankenfield in the 15. Trying to make something happen in the outside lane. Last time around, he was the leader at the line. But Lutz just not giving him any sort of space to take a move down to the inside. Rexing in the 10, still working with Lutz in the 66. Teammates from Bright Light Motorsports working together here. Adams trying to join his teammate. Damian Leininger gonna be the first one that he's gonna have to hook up with. They're only separated by the 11 in the running order for the moment. And Matthew Weeks in the 11 machine in 10th spot as he is following in the 30 in the tire tracks of the 31 of Gerald Campbell. Now Damian slides up in front of Weeks, and Matthew Weeks can go to the high side here. Ryan Lutz is backing up a little bit here as Frankenfield and Furr have gotten around the 66. Jared Rexing in the 10 trying to make a move to the inside. So something happened to Ryan Lutz for the race lead. That is going to put the 15 out front on the 25 of Fur right behind him. Frankenfield driving for 90 Motorsports. His teammate Joshua Furr right behind him. These two gonna try and work together to pull away from the 66. Lutz closing in on the back bumper of the 25. Rexing all over the bumper of the 37 of Burrell. Meanwhile, Dallas Myhan has moved into 6th place. Dallas looking for a spot in the top 5. He's been on a slowly but steady march to the front. Has made good moves all race long. Atlanta really working it to the favor of this 41. Check in on the 28 of Josh Clark. Clark not having a spectacular showing here at Atlanta as we got one in the wall. That is the one machine of Levi Zielinski. Levi got into the wall coming off of turn 4, kept it up there, no yellow. Go to our instant replay here, see if we can see what happened. The one is all sorts out of shape, but keeps it from going around, and we stay green. Back live we go. That one machine having a little bit of damage on the right side now. But Levi Zielinski falling all the way to 19th place now. The 41 of Dallas Myhan has finally broken into the top 5. The 31 of Jared Campbell right on his back bumper. Campbell making a move to the inside. Burrell in the 37, who was running that high side earlier in this run, was making it work for him, but it looks like he is starting to pay the price for being up on that higher lane. We heard from the 12 of Leininger that that inside lane was easier on the tires. And now it does appear that the 37 machine not able to keep pace with the rest of the leaders who he was battling with, and has fallen back all the way to 7th place. Chad Frankenfield in the 15 machine. We're working lap 100 of 162. Gonna come around and lead his 34th lap of the race. Joshua Furr right behind him in 2nd place. Lutz in the 66, Jared Rexing in the 10, and then Dallas Myhan in the 41 will round out your top 5. That 15 machine going to be slowed down once again as we have, I believe, more trouble with the 97 machine. Let's see what happens to Levi Zielinski. Down into the inside wall, back out onto the track. That one going to come to a stop on the racing surface. Levi battling with the 42, Thomas George. Zielinski going to tag that outside wall. It's going to shoot him down to the inside. He is going to come to a stop sideways on the track, bringing out our caution here that has slowed the field down once again. This is our 5th caution on the night. We'll have 60 laps to go, 15 lead changes. Lot of racing left, but the 15 of Frankenfield bringing everyone down onto pit road. Got into his pit stall, has to back up a little bit. Gonna cost him a little bit of time, maybe not too much here. At a good clean entry, but the 15 is down and away, and Ryan Lutz in the 66 gonna win the race off of pit road. Well, let's see if we can't get another quick word in. Let's try for the driver of the 37 machine. That is Ethan Burrell. Ethan, you got your ears on? Try him once again. Ethan, can you hear us? Maybe Ethan having a bit of issues here. There you go.
Hey, I'm not sure if you pulled me up into the booth. I'm having audio issues right now, so I can't hear you.
All right, that will be just fine. That is Ethan Burrell having some audio issues. We tried to get a word in with him, but maybe not so much since he can't hear what we have to ask him. But I wanted to know how that tire run went for him, if he felt it was because he was in that high lane. But we'll have to wait for another day. Try and talk to Ethan. 37 machine. Fallen to 7th place during that run. Ryan Lutz, who won the race off of pit road. Brady Clark in the 14, looking like he's going to try and take wave around. Clark right now 1 lap down. Still have 21 cars on the lead lap. Started 28 cars here tonight. 3 cars have gone behind the wall and called it a race. Levi Zielinski going to be scored in 26th place. Andrew Rucker going to be scored 27th, and Rusty Capel in the 9 scored 28th. The lights go out on the pace car. Lutz using the outside lane for this restart. That'll put Chad Frankenfield on the inside. Row number 2 going to be the 10 of Jared Rexing and the 25 of Joshua Furr. Gerald Campbell in the 31 inside row number 3, and on his outside the 41 of Dallas Byhan. Drivers waiting for the pace car to get out of their way. We're waiting for the pace car to get out of our way as well. Get back to green flag racing. Down goes the pace car. And up goes our speed as Lutz gets a wonderful start. So does Furr. Joshua Furr going to clear the 15 of Frankenfield. Rexing pushing that 15 as hard as he can. But those two really going to lose some ground here. That is going to allow the 66 and the 25 to break away. Dallas Myhan into 5th place. 4th right now, Jared Rexing in the 10. All getting single file very quickly, but now Furr gonna make a move to the outside for the race lead. Jared Rexing gonna try and join the 25 in that outer lane. Add some momentum to that run. Frankenfield in the 15 machine, finding himself able to close the gap to the back bumper of the 66. Joshua Furr trying to lead a lap, battling door to door with the 66 of Lutz. Rexing pushing for all he can. The 37 of Ethan Burrell, who restarted in 7th place, has managed to move up into 5th and now is challenging the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. That is a battle for 4th place. Check in on the driver in the 73 machine. That is Michael Goodman. Goodman right now finds himself in 15th spot. He's got a nice little run right here. Not a whole lot of cars around him. Able to focus on just hitting his marks and log some laps right now. That 73 machine has had a good run. Been all the way up to 11th place so far in this race. Dropped back a little bit since then, has settled into 15th spot. The 73 of Michael Goodman. There's 2 cars battling right behind him. That is Thomas George and Scott Haney. Haney in the 3, making a move down to the inside of George in the 42. Meanwhile, Rexing and Furr still battling for 2nd place here. Furr gonna hold on to it. Jared Rexing gonna lose a little bit of ground as Ethan Burrell in the 37 gonna take advantage of the broken momentum by the 10. Frankenfield gonna try and take advantage of both of them as we go 3 wide into turn 1. Burrell nosing out for the moment. Rexing in the 10, gonna have the momentum on the high side down the backstretch. Frankenfield slots in behind the 10. Burrell in the 37, gonna go down to the white line. Battling door to door for 3rd place. Harold Campbell now closing in on the back bumper of Frankenfield. Dallas Myhan right there in 7th place. able to pounce on anyone who loses some momentum. But Rexing in the 10, up into third, Frankenfield fourth, Burrell fifth now. Campbell in the 31 making a move to the inside of the 37 machine. And Campbell looks like he wasn't able to, oh my goodness, little bit of contact there. Campbell had to get out of it. That is going to allow Burrell to hold on to the spot for the moment. Rexing and Frankenfield battling for third. So battles here, got a lot of little skirmishes here. While all of that is happening, Ryan Lutz and Joshua Furr are pulling away from the field. Rexing is now fallen to sixth place as they all start to get single file. Dallas Myhan in the 41 all over the back bumper. Damian Leininger and Josh Adams running in 8th and 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is the 11 of Matthew Weeks. Weeks running a little bit higher line, trying to get the momentum down the backstretch to close up on the 95 of Adams. Good entry into the corner there, closed up pretty quickly. Now the 95 going to power up off the corner. Adams making a move to the inside of Leininger. Adams trying to get into 8th place, but the 12 of Leininger not letting him get away. Side-by-side racing action all over the track. The 14 of Brady Clark finding himself one lap down. He stayed out for the wave around, but did not get another caution. Now he finds himself on very old tires. That 14 machine trying to stay out of the way, but still trying to run his race. Our fastest lap of the night was turned by the 87 of Richard Hines. Did that on lap 108, turning a 29.879. Compare that to Ryan Lutz last lap at a 31.507. You can see the tire fall off in about 20 laps. Is very much around seconds now. Lutz in the 66, enjoying that clean air. Joshua Furr in the 25 right behind him. Starting to become a 3-car battle. Frankenfield in the 15, closing on to the back bumper of the 25 of Fur, but Ryan Lutz in the 66 continuing to lead and out front for 63 laps here tonight. Ethan Burrell in the 37 machine in 4th place. Rounding out your top 5 is the 31 of Gerald Campbell. Campbell running a VFW paint scheme. Appropriate this week as we celebrate Veterans Day. Rexing in the 10 machine, falling to 6th place here as our drivers are starting to feel the effects of worn out tires. Everyone trying to get clean air on the nose of their machines while they go through the corners. Dallas Myhan in the 41 finds himself in 7th place. With the 95 of Joshua Adams in 8th. We got a problem here. I believe the 12 of Damian Leininger, all sorts of out of shape. I think he also has affected the 11 of Matthew Weeks. Put our instant replay here, see what happened. Drivers working their way down the backstretch. The 11 and the 12 touch going into turn 3. So Matthew Weeks making contact with the 12. Back live we go once again. Damian Leininger into 13th spot. Matthew Weeks falling to 15th. But Ryan Lutz continues to be your race leader. Joshua Furr in the 25 sitting in 2nd. Now trying to make a move down to the inside. Not able to get the power down up off the corner. Furr with a great corner entry. Lutz able to beat him on exit. Ethan Burrell making a move into 3rd as Frankenfield in the 15 is going to be our first driver to hit pit road. And on what could be the final pit stop of the race. Now Joshua Furr again to the inside of the 66 of Ryan Lutz. These two will have to respond to the 15 hitting pit lane. Chad Frankenfield down and away. He is going to lose a lap in the process. But he is going to have those 4 fresh tires. Is going to be making up a lot of ground. As this side-by-side battle for the race lead continues. Burr staying on the inside, Lutz on the outside. Joshua Furr able to get his nose out front just a little bit to lead at the line. And now he might have the momentum to clear the 66. Not quite there just yet. Ryan Lutz hanging on to it with a great run up off the corner and down the backstretch. Meanwhile, Ethan Burrell and Gerald Campbell battle for third place, with Jared Rexing in the 10 right behind them. Burrell gonna lose some ground here as he went up high. 2 spots gonna be lost as the 25 of Joshua Furr gonna make his break for pit road. So Furr on the pit lane. The 15 of Chad Frankenfield on those 4 fresh tires, closing very quickly on the 37 machine. Works his way around him. Jared Rexing not electing to come down pit road, but our leader Ryan Lutz does. The Ryan Lutz from the race lead, making what could be his final stop of the night. That will give the lead to Gerald Campbell for the first time tonight. But Chad Frankenfield in the 15 has unlapped himself. And the 66 of Ryan Lutz sitting on pit road. There goes Frankenfield around Ryan Lutz. So the short pit has worked for the 15 machine. As far as getting around the 66, he's going to have a whole heck of a lot of a lead. But he is going to need this thing to stay green. Gerald Campbell in the 31. Not coming down pit road this time. Neither is the 37 of Ethan Burrell. David Westergreen leaving his pit stall. So a few drivers taking to the early pit. A little bit of a short pit strategy here for them. Right now, I'll tell you, that 15 machine, when everyone cycles through, is going to have a big lead. But that is all dependent on the fact that this cycles through without a caution. Campbell able to go about another 12 laps on fuel. The 32 machine, that is Dustin Dewar, can go 1 lap down here. Rexing in the 10, closing in very quickly on the 31. This battle for the lead starting to shape up here. We're gonna hit pit road in that 32. Here comes Joshua Furr in the 25 with the 66 of Ryan Lutz in tow. These two have made their pit stop. This will put them back on the lead lap. But Furr is going to find himself 5 seconds behind the 15 of Frankenfield. So far, we don't have any other takers for our pit stops, but we're just a handful of laps away from everyone having to come down pit road due to fuel tanks running dry. I was told these drivers could make it about 50 laps on fuel. Campbell last hit pit road 42 laps ago. With 18 laps left in the race, unless Campbell has been able to save, my information was incorrect. We'll have to pit once again. Adams in the 95 closing in on Rexing. Of the drivers who have pitted, Frankenfield continues to lead, but Joshua Furr closing in very quickly on him. Furr now under 1.5 seconds behind Frankenfield. You see Furr and Lutz making a move around another car. That is the 14 of Brady Clark. They are going to be on the back bumper of the 15 very soon. But this could be the race for the lead as Frankenfield trying to hold on to it. He was the first one to come down pit road. Lutz in the 66 making a move to the outside of Furr. They are closing that gap very quickly. Frankenfield looks like he is going to be a sitting duck here as Ryan Lutz going to go to the high side. 3 wide into turn 1. And Lutz clears the 15. Frankenfield falling to third of the drivers who have pitted. Lutz to the front. Joshua Furr into second place. That is if this green flag pit stop cycles all the way through. Your race leader is Gerald Campbell in the 31 machine. Dallas Myhan in the 41 has made a pit stop. He is going to unlap himself here. The Campbell in that 31 going to try and ride this out as long as he can. Maybe catch a caution and get a few other drivers caught out by that caution. Thomas George in the 42 on the pit road for a splash of fuel and 2 tires. He is down and away. Adams has moved into second place. Jared Rexing continuing to fall back, going into full conservation mode. With 10 laps left into this MS race for awareness 250. Campbell looking at 9 laps to go this time by. Campbell picked up the race win October 23rd at Martinsville for the Bolden Gas Works Clean Fuel 250. This would be his second win on the season. Well, Machine and Leininger trying to unlap himself. Leininger right now finding himself in 17th place, the last car on the lead lap. Richard Hines in the 87, he is on the pit road. So is the 26 of Tyler Riggs. Eight laps to go, now make it 7. Can Campbell find enough fuel in that tank to not come down pit road? His last time on pit road was 52 laps ago. He's got 7 laps left in this event. Meanwhile, Ryan Lutz and Joshua Furr, they have made it back around and up to 10th place. Closing that gap to the leader. Oh, about a second a lap. Lutz finding himself now 19 seconds off the race lead. But Campbell, with 5 laps to go, has a 1.2 second lead over the 95 of Josh Adams. And Campbell and Adams are going to hit pit road together. And Campbell going to lock the brakes up, gets out of shape on the pit road, but keeps it off the wall. Good save by the 31, but that might cost him a spot or several. The 10 machine of Jared Rexing gonna inherit the race lead. With 4 laps to go, Rexing has a 4.7 second lead over Ethan Burrell. So the 10 with 3 laps to go. Can he stretch it? Can he make this work? Burrell in the 37, another driver trying to stretch his fuel. But one driver not worried about stretching his fuel. That's the 66 of Ryan Lutz. He's got enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing. And with 2 laps to go this time by, he is closing the gap very quickly. Lutz has moved into 5th place. Ethan Burrell just ahead of him there. Got Haney's gonna get past in the 3. Haney trying to stretch his tank. So Lutz into 4th. Matthew Weeks in the 11, the 37 of Burrell trying to make it around for one more time. They're going to hold up the 66. Lutz going to tag the 11 of Weeks. Weeks is all sorts of out of shape, and the trouble is going to find Matthew Weeks, but no caution coming out. Burrell and Lutz make contact down the backstretch. And I'm not sure if we got a caution or not. But the 15, that was very confusing there for me. Trying to figure out what happened here. Lutz and Burrell coming up off the corner. Lutz gets into the outside wall, tags the 37. But it does look like Ted Frankenfield was able to get by and able to win the race as Scott Haney in the 3 was on fumes coasting across the line. And so Chad Frankenfield picks up his second win of the season. Third place is going to go to the 41 of Dallas Myhan. As I wasn't paying attention, I didn't know if they got the white flag or not. I assumed that they had. And I guess I forgot that they had. But what a turn of events that was. For the 15, we're going to take another look at this. Weeks found trouble. Through 1 and 2. Head of Frankenfield. Dodging all the mayhem. Scott Haney out of fuel in the 3. And there was a pass for the lead, and Frankenfield wins it by that close in the 15 machine. So a wild finish here at Atlanta. And now we'll just wait and see who we can get a word in for our post-race show. While we wait, we'll go through our results for tonight. Chad Frankenfield, your race winner. Scott Haney in the 3, bringing it home in second place out of fuel. Dallas Myhan finishing 3rd, Joshua Furr 4th, 5th going to Joe Torres. Harold Campbell gonna finish in 6th place. Seventh going to Josh Adams, Ethan Reasoner finishing 8th, 9th Josh Clark. Thomas George in the 42 machine going to finish 10th. 11th, Michael Goodman. Ryan Lutz finishing 12th. 13th going to Ethan Burrell. Matthew Weeks finishing 14th. Jared Rexing in 15th spot. Damon Leininger 16th. 17th will be Stephen McGough. 18th will be Kendall Noah Player. David Westergreen in the 22 machine finishing 19th. 20th will be Richard Hines. 21st, Logan Shea. Dustin Dewar in 22nd. 23rd, David Tooker. Brady Clark finishing 24th. 25th will be Tyler Riggs. Levi Zielinski 26th. 27th, Andrew Rucker. And 28th place will be Rusty Capel. Now, guys, we're going to take this moment and see if we can't get a word in with our third place finisher. That is the driver of the 41 machine, Dallas Myhan. Dallas, you got your ears on, bud?
Yes, I do.
Dallas, you bring that car home in third place after what was shaping up to be a wild finish. You had drivers trying to stretch their fuel, running out of fuel all over the track, and here you are finishing in third. Tell us what was going on there at the end of the race.
It was nerve-wracking. I was one of the guys who pitted on halfway of that run, and I was getting a little worried. But about 5 laps ago, I made the wrong decision. It was pretty nerve-wracking until the white flag. Not gonna lie.
Well, I'll tell you, it was shaping up to be a wild finish between Ryan Lutz in the 66 as he was trying to track down, the leader. But we saw Scott Haney run out of fuel across the line rolling across the line with no fuel. But here you are in third place, how many cars did you see, find trouble, spin out in front of you, all that stuff?
I think on the white flag, I went to I think 10th to 3rd. I think it was a lot of cars that ran out of fuel or either got wrecked in front of me, I believe.
Well, 3rd place is where you end up tonight. Congratulations out there. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yes, I'd like to thanks my guys at Evo Synsport for allowing me to drive their cars, and all my sponsors on the cars for all the continued support, and you guys for broadcasting, and Chad for putting up this awesome league.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on surviving that wild last lap. Nice job out there tonight.
Thank you.
So Dallas Myhan bringing it home in 3rd place. Now let's take the time to talk to our race winner. That is the driver of the 15 machine, Chad Frankenfield. Chad, congratulations on your race win out there tonight. Well, we'll see if we can get Chad here momentarily. Driver of the 15 machine winning the race, doing a celebratory burnout, which we have captured in all of its smoky glory. Chad was our race leader tonight for 38 laps. Started in 7th place, was the first driver to hit pit road on that green flag pit stop cycle. Started to lose some ground to Lutz and Furr, who pitted several laps later. They were able to catch up to him and pass him. But Lutz found trouble down the backstretch, getting into Ethan Burrell. And Chad Frankenfield was able to come away with the race win here tonight. So we'll give Chad just another minute. Hopefully he'll be able to talk to us and let us know what he saw out there for this wild finish. But I'll tell you, Scott Haney in the 3 machine was pretty much one of the only drivers to make it all the way on that last fuel run. Made it 59 laps. Haney did bring it home in 2nd place. Another driver who stretched it as far as possible, that was the 00 Joe Torres. And then Josh Clark in the 28. But yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, we may not be able to talk to Chad here tonight. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you tune in next week, November 20th at 8 p.m. Central. Or I'm sorry, that will be 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, for our Daytona 500, the Pinecone Cabin Daytona 500. It is the final race of the regular season. And until next week, guys, thank you for joining me and have a good night.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.